you so much for joining us on Upswing. We're very happy to have the privilege of talking to you and getting some insight when it comes to dressing for success in any way, shape, or form. Before we dive into those questions, do you mind giving us a professional summary of how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, I'm so happy to be on here. Thank you guys so much for having me. I actually went to business school. Fashion was always a passion of mine, but I was never studying it, never really interested in pursuing it. And then basically, I got an internship as a production assistant at Moda Operandi, which is the company I work at now. And I was a styling assistant. So I was on set every single day for, 12 plus hours, basically just shooting outfit after outfit. And I was basically just dressing models, steaming clothes, whatever. And I thought it was so fun. So I was like, wow, this is great, but I still don't know, kind of want to be in business. And I interned there for 5 months. And then when I graduated college, I applied to be a stylist. So it's kind of like having a little business of your own. You have a client book, you have people that you take care of. Definitely the more businessy side. So after I graduated, I worked for a magazine for a little bit, styling shoots, and then I decided that I kind of wanted a desk, kind of wanted that more. My feet were killing me. So I switched over and applied for a styling job at the company I work for now. Started as an assistant. Definitely Devil Wears Prada moment, I'll say. I used to come home every day and my mom would say, "What happened?" And I would tell her like the most ridiculous story ever. She'd be like, "We need to start writing these down because they're too good."
You have to
But
make a book of sorts.
yeah. So I worked my way up and eventually I got promoted to a style concierge, which is basically like a personal shopper, building your book further, meeting people, going to events. And then I did that for about a year and now I'm a private client advisor slash stylist. It's just the technical term, in which I style celebrities and people for major events or, their pajamas, whatever you want. So that's been my journey thus far.
If I was looking to sort of brand myself with my clothing as an individual or as a business, what would kind of the first steps be in finding my style?
Yeah, so right now it's a little bit different because everything's virtual. But if I was in New York City hanging out, I would ask you to get a cup of coffee. We would go, we would meet. I would kind of, feel out your style. What are you looking for? What's your day to day? Do you have a lot of events? Do you, have kids? Are you more so looking for an outfit for the bus stop? Like, what's the vibe? And we'll get to know each other like that. I'll get, your sizing, what areas of your body you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with, kind of like that. And then we'll do like some type of category. So there's really like a couple categories. There's a minimalist, which is someone who sticks to neutrals, whites, creams, black, super chic, super cool, but never really wears a floral. And then there's someone who's more feminine, someone who loves dresses, someone who more boho, kind of that kind of style. Mm-hmm. And then there's also the power lady, which is like someone who's like a bad ass businesswoman. Not sure if I can curse. But yeah, she's super cool. She runs a show. I have a lot of like bomb lawyers. So that's the power lady. And then there's just, people who chill, super chill, just like want comfy clothes, loungewear, hang out. And that's like kind of a subcategory, but it is, I think, important when like you're looking at it. And then glam. So that's someone who, goes on red carpets or has like major events where they're like, I need a gown every month for the next year. or someone who just loves Balmain, whatever. But so I'll basically put you in this little category, and obviously everyone's different. When you're thinking about like, what's your brand? My brand, all over the place. I don't even think I fit in a category. You know, one day I want to be minimalist, the next I want to be boho, feminine. So I always try to tell people, don't try to put yourself in a box. If you love something, love it, wear it, own it. Um, but when I look at someone and they want a brand, we basically just kind of go off of their group, what they like and what they're dressing for.
And I wanted to really emphasize that, because I feel like much of the time when you start thinking about dressing yourself, just as an individual, they give you like 5 categories, and it's like you have to fit in that box, no matter kind of who you are, what you're doing, you just fit in these little boxes. And I like what you said about you can move in between the boxes. There's like opportunity for change and dressing for your mood, because that's what fashion's all about, right? It's about having fun.
A form of expression.
How would you suggest that someone kind of finds their style or finds what they're comfortable with if they haven't really developed a style before?
Yeah, I think it depends on the season. So, and also where you live. So, you know, if it's winter, we're going to go more towards like, do you love comfy sweaters? Do you love leather? Do you love satin? Like what type of material? I'm a big material girl because I like to be comfortable. And definitely there's some days where I'm like squeezing into something that's like super crazy and has a lot of straps. But there's other days where it's just like, I just want to be comfortable and look chic. So that's a big factor. Where you live is a huge factor. I have a ton of clients in Palm Beach. So I'll start out with like, okay, let's do dresses. Like, do you like flowy dresses? Do you like more form-fitting dresses, long dresses, short dresses? You know, there's people that are short and they're like, maxi dresses look terrible on me. Like, I never want to be in one. So that's something we'll work through. So definitely location as well. You know, I have people in Dallas, they dress a certain way. New Yorkers dress a certain way. So I think location is definitely also a big factor. And then really just trial and error. Do you like this? Try it. Yes, I like it. No, it was too tight here, or I want sleeves. And eventually you really get to know the person. Like I have clients that now they miss getting together with me so much and trying stuff on. They'll FaceTime me and be like, how do I look? Because they just need that sort of like reassurance. And yeah, it just takes some time to kind of like get your niche and see what you're into and what you're not. But I also always tell people, don't be afraid to go outside the box. It's my favorite thing when I have a client who's like, all right, I'm gonna wear this tiny dress, like here goes nothing. But it always is cute. And yeah, I think it's just a trial and error thing.
Do you find that you have a lot of people who are like, I am absolutely not wearing pleather, for example, or I am absolutely not wearing a maxi dress? Is that just a common hard no?
A lot of the women I work with are like middle-aged women who are no bullshit. They like what they like. They don't want to be pushed. And honestly, there's a lot of people who have great style, and I'm literally just here to find what they're looking for. So, you know, people don't have the time to look for that specific dress that they really want. So that's where I come in. Or just like scheduling, like they'll be like, I have so many events, I can't even wrap my head around it. And I'll send them dresses, or I'll pull dresses that I love for them, you know, look at them, maybe even have a friend try it on, take pictures, send to them. Back then I used to, you know, sometimes have models come in and try stuff on and then send everyone pictures. So there's definitely people like that. But then, you know, there's also like my favorite clients who are like, I don't care. Like, I'll try anything. If that's a trend this season, throw it at me and I'll give it a go.
If someone has an in-person meeting and they want to walk into the room and show that they're powerful or show that they're optimistic or conservative or daring, do you suggest specific looks for those kind of emotions?
Yeah, I think that especially the women that I style, they're all power ladies. You know, most of them know how to get it done, have like these amazing jobs that they work themselves up. So it's more so just like getting them to the point where they feel so confident in their look that they walk into a meeting and they feel like $1,000,000. I usually suggest a power suit. So chic, looks great on everyone. Everyone will take you seriously in the room. You know, even like this hair that I have, like something slicked back, your face is fully visible. You're not fidgeting with your hair. Anything like that, I think, is always a good idea in the business world because you want to be taken seriously. And also, you don't want anything to be distracting from what you're actually saying. And as long as you can pair a little confidence with that, you feel good in what you're wearing, that's great too. And I have some favorite brands, like for clients that love, you know, a power suit or like more of a work dress that's like super chic and like definitely like high neck, like whatever it is. And I'll suggest like those types of things for that situation.
And then how about if someone wants to give off the look of optimism?
Yeah. So I think that, you know, maybe if you're going into like an interview or something like that, you know, you're not going to wear a neon green shirt or something that's super crazy. But I always say that you want to be memorable. So you don't want to look silly, but you want to be memorable. Like I remember when I went to my interview, I did prepared myself in a way that I was like, when I walk out of the room, they're going to remember who I was. And hopefully a lot of it has to do with what I'm saying, but also dress the part, you know, fake it till you make it. Like look amazing, feel amazing, and you're going to do great. So yeah.
And if someone was more on the conservative side, do you have a specific look that you would say?
Yeah, I mean, I also have tons of clients who, you know, because of their religion, they have to dress a certain way. And we always find ways to find pieces that they look and feel amazing in and still have covered all areas that are of concern. So, you know, it's just about really digging. You know, it's not going to be like every piece of clothing you look at you can wear, but go through, find the brands that you love. And I think a lot of it also has to do with like finding a great dress with a sleeve, finding a dress that's, you know, below the knee. And you can find pieces like that if you just take the time to go through and find it. So it's more of just like a scavenger hunt type of game rather than if you're not really worried about being conservative, there's much more out there. But there are the pieces, you just have to find them.
They want to show that edge, that daring part of them. Is there a specific color or specific look that you suggest?
It definitely depends on the person. I would say that, you know, for me, if I was going into an interview and I was like, I want to be remembered and look super cool, I would probably do like a leather moment, like there are leather suits nowadays, or you could even do like a leather dress. There's also like sick pinstripe suits with like bell bottom pants, like something that's still super chic and like almost looks effortless because it's like a set, but also is very different and like has a little more edge to it.
When you interviewed, you dressed to be remembered. Do you remember what you wore?
Yes, naturally, of course. I, at the time, I remember being super nervous that I needed to dress business casual. So I wore a navy suit, like legit. And I looked really good, but I was so overdressed, which I don't think that's ever a bad thing at an interview, but I walked into the office and obviously I work in fashion. There's no dress code. It's like dress how you want, look good, you know, whatever. So I walk in and, you know, some people are wearing like sweats and some people are wearing like these beautiful long dresses. Some people are wearing blazers and jeans. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? I had never seen anyone because I was always in the production studio. So I was like, oh, wow, you guys are all really over the place. But yeah, I wore a navy suit. It was super cool. And I had like some chic necklaces and earrings on. And I think I looked memorable. I should ask my old boss. I got the job, so can't be that bad.
Amazing. And I do have to ask, kind of just from a corporate perspective, what kind of leg did your navy suit have? Because I feel like there are so many choices and they're so different, even though it seems like it's such a small thing.
So I wore a cigarette pant, which is like,
Mhm.
a suit pant that goes straight down through the ankle, and then pumps, the blazer. I honestly love when there's a suit with like those nice bell bottom and like it looks super chic too with like a heel or something like that. But I think I was going on the safe side and like the business side. Like I said, I had gone to business school. That's what I was used to wearing. So I just thought that that was the norm. And I'm pleasantly surprised that things that I wear in my everyday life, I can wear at my office, which not everyone has. My sister works for Morgan Stanley and her life is very different when we get dressed.
Completely different world.
Yeah.
I want to play a little game with you right now and just kind of a this or that. So, if you are in a more corporate environment, do you recommend polos versus button downs?
I would say button downs, unless it's summertime. Because if you're hot, I get it.
Khakis or dress pants?
Dress pants, no khakis, ever.
Khakis never. A blazer or a full suit?
I would say a blazer.
What pants should I wear with my blazer?
I was gonna say like, if you wear a blazer, there's so many options. You could wear like a tight dress. You could wear jeans. You could wear leather pants. There's just so much more to show.
What about skirt versus pants for women?
For women, I would say skirt. I'm not afraid to show my legs. I feel like it's a privilege to be able to wear a skirt. And I also think it's comfortable. You can make it, day to night. If you wear a skirt and then, say you're going out to dinner after, you still look great. You're dressy.
Are shorts ever acceptable?
Mhm. In the fashion world, yes. In the corporate world, no.
I have one more question when it comes to meetings. For Zoom meetings, what we talked about before as in person, does that change when someone goes on Zoom?
So for me, the top half of me always stays the same. Any meeting I have full glam, I dress the part. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who's going to pop into a Zoom meeting. Our CEO popped into my Zoom meeting the other day and I was like, thank God I look great because that would have been embarrassing. I think it's totally fine if, you're not getting up in the Zoom at all. If you want to wear sweatpants, do it. Work from home. That's one of the best things we've got going on. But I would say definitely try to keep anything that's on camera professional and appropriate because you're still at work.
Yeah.
Work environment.
That's so hard sometimes. So I like roll out of bed and I want to roll up to my 8 a.m. like at 7:45.
Yeah.
In the traditional 9 to 5 workplace, when somebody wants to use their clothes to complement their brand, is your key takeaway to them make sure you feel good, make sure you feel confident, or are there other pointers?
I mean, for me, it's always that's the number one priority. If you feel good in it, then I feel good about you wearing it. But I definitely think there's other factors based on the environment that you're in. If you feel great in a leather mini, probably shouldn't be wearing that to work. So just like assess the situation, assess the scene. But definitely, if you feel great in something and it's appropriate and you can wear it in the business and be taken seriously, then yeah, do it.
And you touched on your favorite brands that you really like. Could you recommend any awesome brands for a young professional?
Yeah. Price point is hard because I know that not everyone has the funds for certain things. But if we're doing like a higher price point and you're going out into the business world, I would say Victoria Beckham is amazing. She's super involved in her collections. She tries every single piece on that's ever been produced. She is a woman that dresses for women. So, she definitely takes everything into consideration and she has great business pieces. Um, it's built for the working woman. So that's a great brand if you have the money to spend. And then, you know, if you're kind of working your way down with like a more reasonable price point, we have an emerging brand that I love, and it's young and it's fun. And, you know, they'll do like a bright pink suit. It's called Ackler. So, you know, for me, it's like a better price point. You know, if you're getting like a beautiful suit dress, then, you know, it's around like $300, but you can finesse. Some pieces are a little bit cheaper, some pieces are more expensive. And then there's Anna Kwan, who is more minimalist. Say you're in accounting or something where it's very business appropriate, you know, you don't want to drift too far outside the box. She has great pieces, and I actually have a client who's a lawyer, and she has this like beautiful blazer dress with like a twist and two cutouts, and you know the cutouts are small. She wears a torque, she gets away with it, and she's like, I just love that I can find pieces that I can wear to work but also make me feel like $1,000,000. Those are definitely some brands that I would recommend for someone who's going out into the business world.
What about those brands stand out to you? Like, what should someone who's not a professional look for in a brand if they kind of want to pick that up and add it to their wardrobe?
Yeah. So there's like 3 key factors really, and it's size, fit, and fabric. So you're really looking at what's the size of the piece. You know, is it true to size? Does it run a little small? Does it run a little big? And then you're looking at the fabric, which is, you know, are they made nicely? What materials do they use? How are they made? And then the fit, which is, you know, is it tighter on the arms? Is it a little bit shorter than other brands? Stuff like that is super important when you're trying to incorporate a brand into your wardrobe. You want to know that it's amazing quality. You're always going to love it. It'll last for, you know, years. So I would say that's really important when you're deciding on whether or not you're going to hunker down with a brand.
Can you give a summary of why certain fabrics are better or how they fall on a body?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, it's summertime. I love linen. I love linen. There are a lot of people that do not like linen because it's very wrinkly. So that's something that, you know, you got to keep in mind. I have an amazing pair of Posy pants. That's another emerging brand that I sell, and they're great. They travel terribly. You take them out of your suitcase and they're a wrinkly mess. So unless you have a steamer on hand, I would not suggest bringing those on vacation with you because the fabric is very hard to keep together. You know, if you're thinking about silk, satin, are you going to be sweating when you're wearing it? You know, is it clinging to the wrong areas if it's super humid? Stuff like that is also super important in fabric. You know, you want to feel good and look good. So if something isn't the right time, don't wear it. If it's silk satin and it's super humid or hot, you know, save it for a nice, cool summer night. And then there's stuff like cotton, which for the most part is good to go. Usually it fits well, it has nice structure. So that's one of the more like safer fabrics that I would suggest. Also anything with elastane in it, you know, if it's like 7% elastane, it's a great idea because that means it has stretch and it's probably more comfortable. So in a dress, that's perfect. I love to see when there's that little composition and that's incorporated. But yeah.
So then on the flip side, are there any fabrics that you would recommend us staying away from?
I don't know. It's hard because some look great on people and some are like, oh, that looked terrible on me. But I would probably say linen just because it's like more of a hassle than you probably need in your life, unless it's just hanging in your closet and you're not going anywhere or sitting anywhere.
Yeah. You were going out for the night, like maybe you're not sitting down.
Exactly.
Or pants are so tight that I can't sit down. Like
exactly. Yeah, I'm wearing like the tightest dress ever. I'm like, I'm gonna stand.
Yeah.
That's like Kim Kardashian at the Met Gala. She wore that like super tight corset. I have a friend that was at her table and she was like, she never sat once. Couldn't sit in the dress.
A lot of the times, if I'm trying to shovel myself into an outfit that I know looks very cute on, but if I don't have extra hands, you know, helping me pull on all the areas and suction cupping me in there, then I just want to put on a nice pair of sweats and some high top shoes and be like, no, this is sexy. This is the sexy casual.
Exactly. Trust me, I love the fact that sweats are in. Let me tell you. Sweat set, and I'm good to go. I look great.
Flared pant with the sweater kind of overlay thing and like the little crop top. That's been having a bit of a moment.
Oh yeah, you know who? Kate, the brand, started that. And it's like the matching sweater with like the matching little bralette.
Love
We
it.
literally sold out of it in seconds. It was insane because everyone was like, "Oh my god, I love it." I love a set because the outfit's just
You had the cutest set ever when I met you.
by Agua Bendita. They have really great stuff.
I'll have to look them up.
On my Instagram, I actually just posted this amazing set I got. If I had it handy, I would show you guys. It's Lestien, so Lastien. When we got introduced to the brand, they showed us, a little PowerPoint of anyone that's ever worn it. And any celebrity you can think of, there's a picture of them in this brand. It's not crazy price point, it's probably $300 for the set. But the quality is impeccable. It's gender neutral. So there's actually a funny little picture. Hailey Bieber is wearing the set, and then 2 weeks later, Justin Bieber is wearing the set. So, you can share it with your boyfriend if that's your vibe. But it's honestly just super cute. I got like a crew neck sweatshirt, no hood, cream. And like there's super cute little details like buttons at the bottom. So instead of rolling up your sweats, you can button up your sweats. Stuff like that, where it's just like they have really cute, fun, easy sweats. And then, they also have those cashmere sets, which are great. That's my favorite brand right now.
What is your handle?
Yeah, it's at Cassadulla, so Cassadulla. I post everything, I link everything.
Diving into the traditional 9 to 5 workplace, masculine or feminine, a little do's and don'ts. I'm going to just rattle them off. You let me know. Watches.
Do.
Pens.
Don't.
Cufflinks.
Do.
Tie bars.
Do.
Earrings.
Always do.
Necklaces.
Yes.
Bracelets.
No, because if you're sitting at a desk, wearing a bracelet is very annoying. But occasionally, sure.
Rings.
Yes.
Let's talk about shoes a little bit. How do you kind of use your shoes to your advantage? And do you have any recommendations for footwear?
Yeah. The sneaker moment is like the best thing that's ever happened to me. I commute, obviously, in New York City on the subway. It is not ideal to wear Jimmy Choos on the subway. Let me tell you, they hurt, they get ruined, they fall in the little grates. So a big thing for me is I'll wear, cute little white sneakers. I have a pair of Chanel white sneakers that I'm obsessed with. Throw them on, walk to work, be comfortable, get to work, change out of the sneakers. Not every day, but for the most part, I'm a heels girl. So I'll change out and, throw on a nice pair of pumps, walk around all day. And then, if I'm going to meet my friends for a drink or something like that, throw back on the sneakers and be comfortable for the rest of the night.
Can you recommend any like key pieces that everyone should have in their shoe wardrobe?
Always a pump. Always a pointed toe pump. The mini heel is also having a moment, which is cool too. I'm about 5'6", so I like to be a little bit taller, but I have friends in the industry that are, 5'8", 5'9", and they just like to wear like a little kitten heel. I think that's also super chic, super cool. A boot, combat boots are having a moment this season. Bottega Veneta is coming out with like the sickest combat boots ever.
Sneaker wise, do you suggest high top sneakers or runners per se?
I do runners. I don't know why. I think they make me look taller. I feel like high tops for some reason make my legs look shorter. I don't know. It's insane nowadays how Chanel has running sneakers, Balenciaga, and they're all like so chic, so cool, and they're literally trainers. But yeah, I would suggest something like that is always super cool with like a blazer and, leather pants or something. Also, you can do the simple white sneaker. I have friends that love Vejas, which is a reasonably priced white neutral sneaker, or Common Projects are also super cool too and comfortable. Fun tip. I also always switch out my laces. So laces get really dirty, also super easy to buy. So I'll literally Amazon Prime white laces, and I'll switch out my laces every couple months. It makes your sneakers look super clean.
Are there any unwritten rules when it comes to facial hair or hairstyles?
I think that a lot of times people go for like the natural look, but I just want to really emphasize the fact that you must brush your hair, right? You got to brush it. You know, I love that like messy chic look, but let's run a brush through it first. And then you can like fuss around with it a little. For like a corporate environment, I loved the slicked back look. I think it's chic. I think your hair is out of your face. You're unbothered. A high ponytail is also a great look with like a blazer and a matching skirt. You don't have to go to work every day with a blowout. I have friends that do that, but it's expensive. I think as long as you can keep it super neutral, super chic, super effortless, you're good to go.
I have a question when it comes to the slick back look. Do you suggest a certain kind of gel? Do they have to wet their hair? Do they pull it back, then add gel and comb it? How do you do it?
This is what I call like my Hailey Bieber look. She is a big supporter of the slick back bun. For me, I have a comb, part it, slick it back, throw it in a bun, and then I literally use men's hair gel. And I put a little, flatten it out, use the comb to, you know, press back anything like that, and it will stay through the wind, through the commute, anything, it'll stay. And it doesn't really look that hard, which is something that I like. I don't like when it like parts a little and looks a little hard. And you could hairspray it too.
There's a lot of steps that go into the natural look. It's not actually natural. So do you no. No. You get dolled up to look as if you're not doing anything.
I learned that the hard way. Let me tell you, I used to put on a full face of makeup to go to work. And then I realized my company hosted a French makeup class, how French women do their makeup. And when you think about a French woman, you're like, do they wear makeup? I don't really feel like they ever do. I learned a lot about, you know, tinted moisturizers, not completely covering your face. Let yourself have a glow. Like, you don't need to like mat it all down. How, you know, you can gel up your eyebrows, make them look higher without, you know, coloring them in or anything like that. Mascara, always. I love having like a lot of mascara, but a lot of people just do like a couple swipes and then it like looks super natural. And big thing in the French makeup industry is blush, which is something I've recently gotten into. I use like a wet brush and it gives you like a little contour. If I have to only wear one article of makeup, it's definitely a lip liner. So I always line my lips. I don't know if that's like a weird fetish for me or what, but I will always line my lips and I have, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Laneige. It's like a lip mask. I literally line my lips, put that over it. It's almost like a Vaseline type of situation. And it looks super natural, but gives them color. I think one of the biggest takeaways I learned is like putting makeup on with your fingers. It's like you're never really putting on too much. So, you know, applying things with your finger is super important because it's not like full coverage with like a sponge or a brush or something like that, which I thought was also a super interesting takeaway. And then the prep. So I use Augustus Bader moisturizer. I love them. They're super cool. My skin literally completely changed when I started using their Rich Cream. It's like a super heavy moisturizer that I sleep in. If you were to feel my face virtually, it's just so soft. I've gotten so many people onto it because it is a pretty penny, but I've had it for months and it has changed my skin. The prep before the makeup is also super important to make sure your skin is fully moisturized and glowing. Especially when it comes to skin, you're going to have this skin your whole life.
Yes.
So it's definitely something I would invest in. I think that for beauty, less is more. You always want to kind of look effortless, which is super chic and super hard to do. I actually had one of my guy friends, I asked him, like, what's the most attractive thing you find in a woman? And his answer was shocking to me. He was like, I love when someone just looks effortlessly beautiful. And I thought, well, you have to be beautiful to be effortlessly beautiful. So that's not the easiest thing to do. But there are ways to, you know, kind of look effortless.
In our ever-changing society, we don't want to shame people for their individuality. We want to strengthen them and say, you go, you do whatever makes you feel the most confident and wonderful in your own skin. Do you have any tips?
So I think fashion is a great outlet for that. You can express yourself in fashion almost however you want, and as long as you're following the standards of this length, this silhouette, whatever it is, wear that bright pink suit, or do whatever you want with that. And you can wear super fun, super chic outfits that make you feel like you're the best looking person in the room, and also are super appropriate and you're going to be taken seriously. I think it's super important also to emphasize the fact that we live in such a different world. Like, even if you think about tattoos, when my grandparents were young, those were frowned upon in the workplace. You would have to wear a sleeve that covered the tattoo. And now, emphasis, especially in the fashion industry, models have tattoos. No one cares about tattoos. And if your company does care about a tattoo, that's fine. You can abide by their rules, but express yourself in a different way. Wear like a super chic pattern, or have something that, helps accentuate a part of your body that you like. In the fashion industry, there's no rules. Be who you are. Love who you are. I have friends that have purple hair. I have friends, it doesn't matter. And that's the great thing about the fashion industry, is that it doesn't matter. And I think that the corporate world is veering very close in that direction. And in the next couple of years, I would hope that everyone would be able to empower each other and lift each other up based on who they are as a person, not what they have on their body.
Were there any instances where an outfit did not work out as you planned, or you stumbled on any like hard don'ts?
I remember I wore like a corset under a blazer. It was super chic, but let's be honest, they were high and they were out. And I remember my boss, who's a woman, was like, wow, this is some look. And I thought to myself, oh no, I think I went too far with this. And I was like, okay, let me pull the blazer in a little, like whatever. So there's definitely moments where I've been like, Cassidy, reel it back in. Like, even if something was too short, like, I'm wearing a little blazer dress and, it's just like really reaching the end of the dress. So there's definitely been moments like that, but you live and you learn. I'm a woman. I'm very womanly. I'm okay with expressing that. And I would hope that the people that I work with also can lift me up and be comfortable with that as well. And I definitely learned from it. Wear the right bra, or if something's super short, wear something underneath it. You can wear little biker shorts. That's super in right now. Or just wear a little dress with, maybe a little lace at the bottom. It adds to the outfit, and it also gives you an extra inch. So you definitely live and you learn, but I've definitely made some fashion mistakes. One time my pant ripped from my ankle all the way up. And I literally had one of my coworkers, I bought 1 million pins and we pinned the pants, and they looked so chic. Everyone was like, where did you get those pants? And I was like, oh, they're pinned because they ripped at the seam. But I love them now.
Are there any tips that you want to give to our listeners about dressing for the promotion or dressing for success?
Yeah, I have dressed so many people, so many celebrities, so many people in the corporate world. And honestly, what it comes down to is the environment, number one. Where are you going to work? What are you going to say about yourself? That's super important. It has to be incorporated. So if you work in fashion, you have more wiggle room. If you're going into the corp world, definitely, you got to keep that into consideration. But I think my big takeaway is just be you. And the best thing to do at an interview is stand out, So if you can wear something that makes you stand out, feel comfortable, feel confident in a situation that for most people is not ideal, and is usually anxiety-ridden and uncomfortable, you have that one factor that you can control that will make you feel amazing. So that's a huge part of it, just being comfortable and feeling great in what you wear, because you can control a lot in life, and that's it. So definitely do that. Just be who you are. you know, everyone has their own individual style, and that's what makes people unique.
This was so wonderful. I think that's a beautiful note to end on.
Thank you, Cassidy, for joining us, and thank you for all of your insight.
Thank you guys for having me.